Make sure you watch to the end of this video because you might just get some never-before-seen footage of Artissimo and I's very first project together.
Have you seen my big Russian tool, mamacita?
Good morning, America! Welcome to October.
Welcome to Trilogy Media's spooky house.
We're living it up, loving it. Cheers. Love you guys. I had to. Welcome to 15 things. I know. Well, fog machine works. Welcome to 15 things you did not know about Trilogy Media. Now, before you roast us in the comments, I realize that some of you may already know some of these things. Some of you follow closer than others, but we did our best to come up with 15 solid things that I know most of you don't know. And it's going to be very fun. Some of them are about the two of us together with Trilogy. Some of them are about each individually before we met. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to start it! So let's just get right into it. Counting down from
number 15. Ashton can play violin.
Yeah, I should say did. I don't now. I could now, I think. I think if I picked it up, I could probably play a really... the violin. I could play pretty solid Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But here's the deal. I used to be pretty good. Like, I played all through junior high and high school. I played for like 7 straight years. Because I started in late elementary and then all the way through high school. So like 7 straight years. And I was pretty solid. In high school, I was in the highest like ensemble class that you had to audition to get into. And we did like performances and competitions all around the country and everything. And
Little Dexter.
I was pretty good. I think I have some violin photos. I'll find some of me like really young, but I'll mix those in here. So yes, I play violin. Number 14. Artissimo can ballroom dance.
When I was a kid one day, a little weasel. So I was in a class and for some reason I know how to move. So I end up being
shocking. He knows how to move.
I know how to move. Was doing samba, rumba, quick stop, valse, cha-cha, quick step. Oh my god. I used to be
footage? Is there any footage?
I need to go back to...
You should check.
So when there is a day, I can take my lady out, so I can...
Number 13. Art and I got stuck in a blizzard.
Not only in a blizzard.
Not only in a blizzard, but the worst traffic jam I've ever experienced in my life, and it wasn't even in Los Angeles, believe this or not.
We went to Tahoe, right?
We were in Tahoe. It was New Year's. We spent 2 nights in Tahoe on our way home visiting family up north.
And we're like, let's leave early before the traffic gonna start.
Well, and the thing is, so we were supposed to leave on January 2nd. But it was January 1st, and we woke up and we may be a little hungover, you know. But that wasn't the impetus for leaving. The impetus for leaving was the fact that there was a huge storm coming. Huge storm coming. And we looked at the traffic and it was already getting bad, and we knew, and we were not in a 4-wheel drive car, so we're like, you know what, let's just leave today. We already did our partying, let's just make it happen. We left at like, I don't know, 4 in the afternoon, and we didn't get through this traffic jam until 1 in the morning.
We were rushing so much, it was no food, right? So I was like, brother, there is no time, just stopping, just let's go. So we end up eating 1 Skittle.
Mentos.
Oh, Mentos for breakfast?
We rationed Mentos. So we were in this snowstorm. Not only was it a snowstorm, but we were literally moving less than 1 mile per hour. That's how slow this block was going. So it was like 35 miles to get through this peak, and it took us over 8 hours to do it.
January 1st, 2017. Driving from Lake Tahoe to Los Angeles. Actually, we're already in California. But look what's going on. Unbelievable. 5 hours to go from Tahoe City, and we're not even to Auburn yet. Everything is red. Unbelievable weather. We have chains on as we speak. That's Artissimo.
No exits you can take, no gas stations.
And he had to pee. I'm surprised I survived without peeing. I don't know how I did that. I was driving. He had to pee a couple times.
I was like, brother,
and he
do not even stop.
He's like, no, I didn't stop. The car was just stopped already.
Yeah.
So he goes into he leaves the car.
And it was so much snow.
So much snow. He just disappears into the woods.
I disappeared, and I was like, I took a couple steps and then like,
but he pees and then he comes back and I haven't moved at all. So, and it was bad. You couldn't see the lanes. There was only 2 lanes. You couldn't see the divisions. There was a cliff on one side. Cars were sliding all over the place. And we actually eventually did get stuck on an incline. We had to put the chains on. We were amongst like a dozen other cars doing the same thing. It was ugly. But we got to In and Out at about 1 in the morning. It was the best cheeseburger I've ever had in my life. Sorry. Shut up. Whatever.
Number 12. Artissima almost drowned in Laguna Beach.
Yes, I did.
What happened?
This was back in, I want to say 2012, 2013. It was one of those summers I was visiting my friend Ben, actually. Ben, he didn't live here yet, but his family was staying in Laguna Beach, and they did that like yearly. But there was an issue where we were swimming. We both kind of got sucked into this riptide, but me way more than him, because I was in a different kind of lateral part of the water. So I got sucked out in this riptide, but I was so naive to it that I didn't even realize it was happening. So I opened my eyes and I am really far from shore. I knew that I was too far out, but I wasn't like struggling yet. And I got pulled right into this place where the waves were crashing on my head. So I would get crashed on, pushed underneath the water, and I have asthma, so I'd struggle to get to the top. And as soon as I would get a breath up atop, there was already another wave falling on me. And so I see this lifeguard coming, and at first I saw him coming, I'm like, well, I'm okay. But then I realized, no, I'm not okay. It only took about 10 seconds for me to go from I'm okay to holy shit, I might die right now. Because I was running out of physical energy to move, and I was just getting stuck in the washing machine for what felt like an eternity.
So he basically pulled you out?
Well, he swam all the way out because he saw exactly what was going on. He was attuned to it before I even knew what was happening, but he was on his way. And by the time he got close enough to me, I was like screaming for his help. So he finally got to me. He took one of those little rubber, things, wrapped it around my waist, and lifted me up out of the water so I could get a breath. And then he basically dragged my ass to the beach, and they plopped me on there like a beached whale. I don't think I moved for an hour. I was so physically exerted to the point of trying to survive that I couldn't even stand up. I was just laying there for a long time. So I don't even know that guy's name. So if you're watching
this... Did you even buy him a drink?
I couldn't move. He plopped me down and he left. And
that's it?
By the time, I don't remember what I said. I was just focused on the fact that I didn't die. So, number 11. Artissimo was in an Amco commercial. Now, but here's the thing. That's not just the interesting fun. I'm so bummed we don't have copyright to show this damn thing, but I will leave a link in the comment section. I'll pin a comment, and I'll leave a link. If you want to laugh your ass off, this guy did an Amco commercial. What year was that?
So I believe so. It was like 2012, 2013, and my agent called me and he was like, "Hey Art, you know German, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I used to live in Germany." He's like, "Okay, cool. So you have to be a German swimmer player." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I went to audition, and I'm the only one Russian, and I was like, I called my agent and I was like, dude, what I'm doing, it's Germans only. He was like, don't worry about it, just go, just be you, be Weasel. The first thing they said like, hey, can you sing in German? And I was like, as a matter of fact, yeah, I know a song. So they're like, okay, cool. Ein, zwei, Polizei, drei, vier, Brigadier, sechs, sieben, gute Nacht, gute Nacht.
He was the Weasel before the Weasel was even a thing. But the funniest part is the visual. You need to watch our video first and then go click the link.
So if you have any problem with transmission.
So he's like a guy renting a room from this older couple, and because
they cannot afford to change a transmission, right?
And
so
he's almost naked. He's at the fridge with earphones dancing.
It's
the funniest ever. It's very short, but the link is in a pinned comment. Please watch it. It'll make your day.
Whatever. Asshole.
Number 10. The name Trilogy Media was conceived intoxicated.
That's a true statement. Yes, when you live with Russian, you have to drink a little bit. Chut.
Well, and we have another fact about how Trilogy started coming later, which we'll go into a little more detail. But there was a time when Artissimo and I were thinking of a name for our company. Our real progress in thinking of names was not happening until we had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
So we did. We stayed up very late. It was one of many things we were going over and setting plans for the coming months. But we came up with it, and we loved it. And then we talked about it soberly the next morning.
Yeah. And we're like, oh, that's actually perfect. It used to be, three of us, and it was like Trilogy, and we loved it, and we named it, and that's it.
There was a third person. We've obviously since parted with for creative differences. But it's just the two of us now. But we love the name, and we came up with it. So the hell.
That's really great. Hey, so that's why if you need a little bit moose, you have to get some booze. Number 9. Artissimo is engaged to a fan.
I am engaged to a fan of Trilogy Media.
Yeah, tell us what's up.
I realize some of you already know this if you watch one of our older live streams, but it's still something that a lot of details about how this all started I haven't shared very much about, and I'm thinking about one day making a video about the whole thing. Because how the whole thing happened is pretty crazy. I started talking to a fan almost a year ago. When this video is live, it will be almost 1 full year since I have officially been partnered with this person, although we did start talking in September of 2017. So it's been over a year since we first spoke. Relationship developed. Weirdly, it was from someone in another country. I am madly in love with this woman, and we are engaged as of my birthday, which was last month, August 23rd.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It's crazy.
And I'm happy for you.
Thank you very much. Best man. Uh-oh. Number 8. Artissimo got his first acting job from serving coffee.
Yes,
Tell us
actually,
about that. How did
that's
that happen?
true. Cheers for that.
Cheers for that. That's Los Angeles for you.
I landed my first job as a serving coffee. I used to work for production companies. Just being me, Russian weasel, so like, good morning, America, you want some coffee? And I don't know, and the director, he saw me, he was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm an actor in America. And he was like, okay, cool. And next morning, I remember basically wardrobe stylist, she came to me and she was like, well, Art, I need your measurements. I was like, what's going on? And they said like, well, director thought like you suitable for a part. So I booked my first speaking role in a union movie.
What was the movie called?
Sparks.
Sparks. And what year was this?
2012.
So how was your English at that point?
My English was, I don't know, working on it. So I weaseled myself out to get a role in Hollywood.
Why
So
am I
your dreams come true. Always remember that.
That's absolutely right. Number 7. Trilogy Media existed before any scammer viral video ever happened. We opened Trilogy originally. It actually opened it on my birthday. We opened it on August 23rd in 2016.
And we even said, hey, happy birthday, Ashton, the opening, you know, like, yep.
But it had nothing to do with YouTube, nothing to do with scammers. It was intended to be a production company.
Which still is.
Which still is, of course, but right now with a totally different kind of focus. But the viral scammer video happened just about a month later.
How crazy is that?
And look what's, it's just weird how things work. But it's just weird that Trilogy Media now, especially in my mind and in their mind, is so etched to this thing that we're doing that it's weird to think that it existed before this thing ever even occurred.
We created a web series and it was successful. We shot 7 episodes and we sold to Roku. And and we're like, okay, we just developed a first project that was successful. Let's open production company and start.
Well, because even when the viral video happened, that didn't even really become our focus for quite some time.
For quite some
time. In fact, I didn't even make a second one until like April of after that. So like 6 months later or more than that later, because we were doing other stuff and everything. So, but then when Trilogy's focus shifted, it became what it is now. And it's just weird to think that the Trilogy came before the impetus for what you would think its creation is. It's very strange.
Number 6. Ashton's first viral video was not a scammer video. What happened?
And in comparison, I shouldn't even consider it a viral video, but to me at the time it was viral. It's got over 500,000 views to date.
It is viral.
So basically, so as many of you know, and this isn't even part of the list, but I do magic. And did it very heavily back all the way up till 2009, right before I moved here.
Right?
Huh?
You can consider yourself.
Well, I worked. That was my job. That's all I did.
Exactly. If you can pay bills with the job that you're doing,
but
that means you're pro.
Well, thank you. Well, there was a video which was filmed in 2009. I uploaded it shortly thereafter at a gig. The trick I did actually screwed up. But it was funny because actually the gig I was doing was actually at my mom's 50th birthday party. It's weird how this works. So it was a 50th birthday party.
That's the wrong place to screw up.
I know. But it was a big party. Like there was like 200 people there, and that we were in a hotel ballroom, and a lot of our family friends were there, and a lot of them were friends of mine who were magicians. So it was a room full of magicians, and the trick screwed up. But the way I handled it, I kind of talked my way out of it, and it ended up being a better trick because I screwed it up. Wow. So the video is on YouTube now.
Wait, are you talking about the trick that the magician takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards? Oh, I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Okay, that's trick starts now. He throws 1, 2, 3 into a hat, but in his hand he still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I said, yeah, that's pretty much the trick. And he said, you gotta start with 5 cards. We start with 1, 2, 3, wait, 4 cards.
That's the first video that for me went viral, and I actually made a little money off of it. So if you want to see a 19-year-old Ashtissimo doing a magic show and it up, click the link in the comments. It's pretty crazy. Number 5. Artissimo used to be a pro athlete and graduated from Olympic school.
I graduated Olympic school. I was in actually 2002.
Okay.
That was my initial graduation of
Where was
Olympic
this?
school in Belarus.
Belarus.
In Belarus. So yeah, I used to be pro athlete. I used to play for Belarusian junior national basketball team. So I not only have some moves as they like, but in the ballroom.
So you just move all around all kinds of balls.
But that's a true statement, and because I got injured my knee and several major injuries and surgeries, so I was out of pro sports, and I'm so happy that it happened to me at age 24, 25. Then I was like...
Number 4. Artissimo and I spent 18 straight hours at a blackjack table. Not my proudest fact, but it happened, and I'm not ashamed of it, and here's why.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It goes down in my mind as one of the best nights of my life. Because it was literally, you watch in movies where there's, people at tables.
I think it was a movie, brother.
It was better.
It was freaking better than the
But
movies.
I'm just referencing, like, if you've ever played in a casino, it's sometimes it's hit or miss. But like in a movie, when it's just constantly, the dealer is just like busting one after another, and the whole table is erupting in noise. It was that all night long, and it was so much fun. I can't even tell you.
Check this out. 2 of us plus random people, and everybody has the same energy like we do. And like every single time when we will hit a blackjack, whole table is like, "Wah!" So it means everybody will turn around
We
and
had
they're like,
an audience. I mean, there are hundreds of tables.
for 18 hours.
It was in the Bellagio.
In the Bellagio Hotel. Love that hotel.
There are hundreds of blackjack tables, but ours
Our
was the
table
only one
was-
with a crowd. There were, at any given moment, there were at least 10 to 15 people standing behind us wanting to sit there, but we weren't going anywhere.
Right.
And wanting to watch why this table was so loud. We made so much noise, and we blinked, and it was 18 hours.
And at the end, when we were like walking out, we made $500.
Yeah, no, we walked out with a 500 chip.
$500
So,
chip!
we probably spent a couple hundred to get it, but
Right.
after all the drinks that we had, I mean, we got there at about 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and we stayed until 7 a.m. the next morning. And I mean, I don't think you ate. I didn't eat, which is not good. I'm not condoning that.
Right.
It was bad. The only reason I got up from the table was to use the bathroom. We didn't leave. We didn't take lunch breaks. We didn't go do anything else. We didn't change tables. Nothing. 18 hours from 1 p.m. to 7 a.m. one night in Vegas. And this was in 2014, maybe?
Yeah. Do it for all of us. For all of us. Go,
Come on.
go.
What is that?
Yes. Yes, please. Yes,
Keep going.
Come on, guys. Yeah, shot, baby. That's what I say.
Not proud of it, but it was f***ing awesome.
Number 3. Artissimo was robbed at gunpoint.
It was in 2012. I used to work at a Blockbuster Video. In fact, I worked at several of them because that was my first job in LA. I actually worked at one back home and transferred down here. And I could talk about that for hours. There's a lot of good and bad things about that experience. But this was one particular night that I don't favor. We closed at 11 p.m. and this was like 10:15. I was the manager. I had one other employee in the store. He was on the other side of the store, putting movies back. This kid, I mean, he couldn't have been older than 20, and I was 21 at the time, I think.
Your age.
He comes in, he's this skinny, pimply-faced college kid or whatever, but he looked like he was maybe on something. I don't know. But he goes and grabs a soda out of the fridge, and he puts it on the counter, and the total was like $172. So I said, it was $172.
$1.75.
Yeah, or something, 170 something, I remember. And he hands me 2 single dollar bills. And as soon as the door opens, he leans forward, and I didn't even, I was so tuned out from that job that I wasn't aware of my surroundings as much as I should have been, but I look up and I see he's leaning over the counter with a gun held right at his chest, pointed straight at my chest. He's holding it against his chest, pointing it at me. I looked at the barrel. And he said, give me all the money in the register. He said it very quietly. And thankfully, my register just came out of its drawer. So I just picked it up, plopped it on the table, put my hands up, and stepped back. There is footage of this, in fact. It was recorded on a surveillance camera. And I'd be willing to bet if I dug into my old computer, I would find that footage, because I took a video of it with my old phone. It was a very old phone.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet you I have the footage of this happening. I need to find it. People ask me, was I terrified? No, actually, I was actually very composed. When what's terrifying is when you go home later and you think of what could have happened.
What could have happened?
It happened so fast. Nothing, like $100.
So that's how much money was in the cashier.
I emptied the register and bolted. And I called the cops immediately, and they showed up, and I had to pick them out of they came back actually another day. I had to pick them out of a lineup on a piece of paper. And apparently he was hitting other stores too. I mean, holy shit. So, and I, to this day, don't know if they ever caught him. Number 2. Artissimo almost died in Egypt.
We went for excursion, so we rented 5 ATVs, and we went took off from the resort to all the way to Sahara, and it's 2 hours drive. And of course, being Russian, yeah, I know how to drive, no problem. They asked me, do you want a regular one or for extreme driving, which is more speed?
Should never ask you that.
And I said, me? The most badass that you have in your collection. So I got it. And of course, everybody starts speeding and chasing each other and playing games, 5 dudes. And I was like, okay, let me see how much this baby can, bring the speed. And the last thing that I remember, when everybody started jumping from one mountain to another mountain, I jump and I see that my ass is flying one direction, but ATV is flying another direction. So I landed and I was oh wow, it's kind of feel something is missing. And sure enough, there is a piece of my on my back was missing. All my skin was gone because I landed.
Skidded.
Yeah, exactly. So in Sahara, there is only little stones and sand, right? So it's basically and there is nothing going on in your skin. But guess the best part what happened, nobody has any first aid, of course, right? So we're what are we gonna do? I kind of feel bad because I screw up the expedition. So we have to go back, right? And out of the blue, there is a freaking camel, locals who live in the mountains. So he's driving this camel. And I was like, hey, dude. So he approached me. He saw damaged ATV. He saw my back and he was saying something. And next thing I see, he's giving me first aid. And I'm not shitting. The expiration date was 1976, January 15.
Expiration date. And that happened to me in 2007. So expiration date, 1976, made in this package, USSR, in my country. He took stuff and just poured it this antiseptic on my skin. I borrowed a t-shirt and I was like, guys, that shit. Let's continue our expedition. So with a missing piece on my back, I put a new t-shirt and I was like, rah! Oh my God.
Number 1!
The very first project that Artissimo and I worked on together was a comedy web series about exterminators.
And what was the name?
It was called
Bugbusters! There is a Ghostbusters, there is a Scambusters, and then it was a Bugbusters.
And you guys, I'll get some footage for you guys. If you guys want to see some footage, I'll play it in a second. This was 2012, I think.
Yeah, 2011, 2012.
Because it was shortly after we met. It just happened to work out that one of our friends was making a student thesis film, so we had a student crew that was ready to shoot something, and we had just started working together, so we wanted a project where we could collaborate.
And we're okay, let's shoot a pilot, let's write something.
So we wrote something, and here's some clips.
I am strong like Siberian bull. They called me Boris the Killer back in Taiga. I kill grizzlies with my bare pinkies. Pinkies. I even saved the planet from the alien attack. But don't tell no one. Zip it.
How lovely.
I love people.
Why did you look down?
I'm sorry?
You looked away when you said that.
No, I didn't.
So you meant it.
Yeah.
You love
I
people.
love people.
You did it again. Dexter.
I love people.
You blink.
That was like actually fun.
I can't show a lot of it because some of it has copyrighted music in it because it was never intended for public consumption. It was just like a submission piece, like a test pilot type of thing.
And we
obviously has
grateful
a
about
ton of room for improvement, but we still cherish it because it was the first thing we ever did
It's
together.
a first, yep.
And there's one more clip we gotta show. I'm gonna show it. Play it.
Hola, mamacita. Seems I have forgotten one of my tools. Perhaps on the washer, on the couch, on the dryer, on top of the sink, in your bedroom. Have you seen my big Russian tool, mamacita? Yes, mamacita, that's me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think it's worth it. It makes the whole video. So that's 15 things you did not know. Hopefully, maybe you did, but it was fun anyway. About Trilogy Media.
You brought so much memories.
That's just scratching this. That's just scratching the surface.
Unbelievable.
We'll do more of these if you guys like them.
Yes.
These little countdown things, informational things are fun for us to reflect on. And thank you guys so much for watching, and welcome to Trilogy Media! Boom! Thank you guys so much for watching this video. DexTCimo here. Lots of stuff to click over here, so just click everything, okay? You got a subscription button there in the center. You just wanna click it if you haven't subscribed yet. That's first and foremost. Click up here to watch some more stuff, more awesomeness coming your way. And Patreon, check it out. Patreon.com/Trilogy Media. Special thanks to our current supporters listed over there. You get all kinds of bonus content like private vlogs, private live streams, uncensored videos. Thanks again for watching. Have a wonderful day.